There is a difference between burden and weight. Burden is what we carry. Weight, what we lift, and what we let down. The difference may seem small, but to some, it feels heavy, like the load between life.
End of the day, it's you in the bar. The progress that you make is because of you.
There are many Bostons. The ones most see, with Fenway, Faneuil Hall, the Freedom Trail, and then there are the others.
People, they be like, y'all been to Boston? I'll be like, yeah, what part of Boston you been to? I've been to Cambridge. You ain't been to no Boston. It's not just this beautiful place that everybody think it is.
It's a tired truth, but a lasting one. The street is a thief, and it steals all it wants. Time and innocence, childhood and chance, trust and hope. But the very thing the street demands is the same thing that might defeat it. Strength.
But the streets is like chess, because you never know what your next move is going to be. Whether it's going to be a good move, whether it's going to be a bad move, or whether it's going to be your last move.
There were more than 1,600 shootings in the city of Boston from 2005 to 2010. The vast majority coming from the neighborhoods of Dorchester, Mattapan, and Roxbury. Most committed by those under 21. In this Boston, gunfire and gang violence are a daily fact.
You bump into a lot of chaos, a lot of violence, a lot of drugs being sold. It's just a dog-eat-dog world, so in that situation, the strong come out on top and the weak perish.
I was just raised in the streets. Like I took things from my own and just learned how it was in the streets. I just learned how to survive. Drugs, guns, everything around. We can't get away from it.
Now 24, Joe Sierra was first arrested when he was 12 years old for assault and battery. He has spent nearly half his life locked up.
When I hear about kids going to proms and stuff, I don't know what that's like. I don't know about having a birthday. I really just had to sit down and realize what was going on in life. Either you're going to hit a point in life, you're going to cross that wrong person, he's going to kill you, or you're going to do something stupid, you're going to kill somebody else, then it all ends.
Joe is the real deal. When you talk about street life, there wasn't any doubt about it. You get out, spend a week, get locked back up, get out, a couple weeks, locked back up.
Every time I used to come back to jail, he'd be like, oh, you're back again? Oh, CO should talk to me like that. Hurry up and get the life sentence of being here with us forever.
Beyond the bar, Joe Sierra and John Feynman seem to have little in common. Nothing about Feynman at 5'4" and 140 pounds appears menacing or muscular until he picks up a bar. And for Feynman and those he works with, like Joe, the bar is the bond, by design.
It's not about weight training. It's about that relationship. And weight training is just the hook to build that relationship. That was smooth on the way up.
Feynman grew up as a soccer player in Amherst, Massachusetts, and took to lifting in college to help him compete against bigger players. After graduating, he joined AmeriCorps, a community service program, and went to work on the city's margins.
I was working at this K-8 school in East Boston, and my role is just to get young people involved in after-school sport-based activity.
Feynman focused on weightlifting as a way to reach out to at-risk kids. They each wanted to be strong, and each wished they could belong. One boy in particular stood out for an obvious reason. His name, Alexan Hercules.
He was becoming initiated into a gang called MS-13. I got to know him and his friends, and these are the kids with machetes and guns in their hands and driving a disproportionate percentage of violence in this specific area.
The reason why I joined the gang, because they were like my family. Because they were always there for me, and yeah. But then when I used to go to jail, they weren't there for nobody, man. Hope I go to college someday and be something in life, support my kids. Yeah, hope so.
At the end of that year of AmeriCorps, ended up losing contact with Alexan and some of his friends, but never really forgot about them.
Instead, Feynman had an idea, using weights as a way to connect to others. After earning his MBA in January of 2010, he launched Innercity Weightlifting, his own non-profit program to get kids off the streets and into the gym.
Alexan actually ended up being our first student. All of a sudden, our phones started ringing. We started getting referrals on a weekly and then a daily basis. Our students started bringing their friends in, and by the end of March, we had over 50 students in the program.
Innercity now has its own space, an unassuming brick building in Dorchester. There are no signs to advertise its presence. Members like it that way. The gym has more than 100 students. The vast majority have been in prison, many for violent crimes. Lifting is what brings them inside, but fellowship, guidance, and trust are what keeps them there.
Every minute you take a kid from out there and put him in here is a minute you potentially could be saving his life. It's a minute you could be adding to his lifespan. Every minute a kid's in here is a good minute, you know?
You can actually feel the love coming out of this building, you know, because it's not like a club, it's like a family.
The more they start to see that we're invested in them, that we're not going away, that if you don't want us around, that's fine. But make sure that you know that this door is still open. And when the time is right, we're going to be here for you.
As for Innercity's first member, Alexan, he seemed to thrive under the weight just a year ago.
He really turned the corner. The most difficult step is to put the gun down, to not engage in violence, knowing that every day when you wake up and you go outside that house, your life is at risk.
Now, when I go to the gym, I just think about lifting. I don't think about being in the street, hanging around, doing stuff, doing dumb things like that. Nah. Since I entered that gym, it was like I was a different person.
Then, last summer, a tragic reminder of the other Boston, the one outside the gym doors.
He was walking back from work, wanted to get food for his daughter and girlfriend. We don't know exactly what happened, but walked by a group of young people that he had some past encounters with, and he was stabbed to death.
Alexan Hercules was 19 years old.
We had lost students before, but that was tough. It hurt. Alexan changed the course of my life. He was the inspiration for the program. As sad as his loss was, it's a constant reminder as to what our students are up against.
It was a kid that he had a lot of potential. Just because he was starting to do the right thing didn't mean that, you know, death wasn't imminent. And that's just a reality for us out here.
Right here, so your hips back just a little bit.
The tragedy only deepened Innercity's mission and intensified Feynman's commitment. He has visited members in prison, appeared with them in court, taken them to job interviews, and all along, been there to spot the weight.
Pop up, explode underneath.
I consider John my older brother because it's like you got that older brother making sure that you're doing everything right at all times. Yeah, I would be without John. I'll probably be in the federal penitentiary with all my friends.
I think he genuinely cares, you know? And when someone genuinely cares, you don't have a choice but to, like, respect that.
The weights are not ends in themselves, but a means to an end. Innercity Weightlifting also helps members get on track towards earning their GEDs. And for some, pursue careers as personal trainers.
The personal training piece goes way beyond a job opportunity for our students. They're training clients from 6- and 7-figure backgrounds, clients from completely different walks of life, clients that drive an hour and a half to get to the gym to train with one of our students.
You just come back, just come here, and up to the city.
Perhaps the best and current example of inner-city success is Joe Sierra. December will mark the 2-year anniversary of his release from prison, the longest period of time he spent outside since he was 12.
Good.
He has more than 15 personal training clients and is close to completing his GED.
Joe's going to make it as far as Joe wants to make it. He's an amazing personal trainer.
Good.
That's his ability to connect with his clients. He sends them out wanting to come back for more. Not just of the workout, but more conversations with Joe.
Yeah, perfect.
If you put yourself around positive people every day, you're bound to start thinking positive. You're around negative people every day, you're bound to start thinking negative. I'm not trying to keep doing what I was doing 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. That's not life.
Perhaps the true definition of strength doesn't lie in how much weight you lift. It's in how long you hold it and how far you carry it. For all the burden Jon Fineman helps to ease, his own weight only grows. And he won't let the bar drop.
The scariest part of my day is every night when we close the gym. We close the door and we shut off the lights. That's when our students go back to the same street where they just got shot, where they just lost a friend, where they just got locked up. That's when the challenge begins. We're still only at the beginning of this.